Hello and welcome to tonight's edition of Four Corners. I'm Susan Modaris. The first festival, the Cannes. Press TV correspondent Peter Humey is joining us from Paris to tell us about the significance of the Cannes Film Festival, 61 years on, notably for the French. Peter, thanks for joining us on that side of the world. So the question that many are asking on this side of the world is how important the Cannes Film Festival has become for the French society as a whole.
Well, it is a cradle of the movie industry, but they see it slightly differently from, let's say, some of the Hollywood films that we've become so accustomed to here in the West.
How politically motivated is this year's Cannes Film Festival? It did start off with Sean Penn, president of this year's jury, talking about the upcoming U.S. presidential elections. At a press conference, he is an outspoken critic of the Bush administration, as we all know, offered his views on the Democratic presidential race. How relevant is all of this?
Well, I guess in like any big international venue such as the Cannes Film Festival, you know, there are going to be those who are going to try to get their views of the upcoming presidential election in there. But I never really thought of Cannes as being political, because you look at the films that won the Palme d'Or over the years. I mean, it just reaches all over the world. I believe last year was a film from Turkey, then it was a film from Romania, and then one of Abbas Kiarostami's films from Iran, Taste of Cherry.
All right, and let me continue with you, Mr. Andreiev. Do you think the festival has retained its glamour throughout the years, or has it developed into a place where filmmakers and distributors go to conduct business?
It's always both. I mean, it's you know, some filmmakers here in the United States kind of look down at film festivals as kind of like a vanity a vanity venue. That's just as a big social gathering where everybody hangs out at the beach. But it also is a way for distributors to see a potential new film play to an audience and how an audience reacts to that film. An example here, not in the Cannes Film Festival, was Napoleon Dynamite and Super Size Me, which had a fantastic audience reaction, and immediately those two films were signed for worldwide release.
All right, Professor Gillick, would you like to follow up on that?
Well, I think it's been interesting following, I hate to use the term blogosphere, but there's a lot of comment out on the internet about the small number of films that are amusing.
Guest just before just mentioned the internet, and there's a term amongst internet users called the internet haters, which people who know absolutely nothing about a subject will just write the most negative, nasty comment about that subject only because they're safe, they're in their home, they're anonymous. So, you get that a lot, especially if you're trying to market a film over the internet. You're going to have that major stumbling block. Well, the thing with the Cannes Film Festival is sort of like this very pleasant billboard for film all across the world. I mean, just a couple days ago, I believe, for Kung Fu Panda, that Jack Black had like a press conference, and behind him, off some sort of like ferry boat, came 40 actors in full panda bear outfits. So it's kind of like, it's a sort of fun way for the filmmakers, Hollywood and the independents, to say, hey, come on, look at my movie.